showing you how to do a small humpback whale, and I'll be using this little plastic toy as a sample. I'm going to condense a gather of glass that will be tapered down to become the humpback whale. The part of glass that's attached to the 6mm punty in my left hand will be the tail section of the whale. This follows up on the same way that I showed how to make seals, or how to make dolphins in the last episode. I'm just condensing the glass rod so that it gets fatter in the middle, and kind of I use the example of a snake that ate a pig. Kind of gives you the idea of what I'm shooting for. I'm going to condense the amount of glass I'm going to need, and then I'm going to taper off the tail so that it's in position to look like I want it to look. So that's pretty much the shape of the body. Now I'm going to taper the glass away. That will be the upward arch of the tail. I'm doing these examples small so that they will be done quickly, and I can show you more pieces in a shorter period of time. I'm going to condense a little more glass onto the face. Or the head of the whale. The humpback whale has, it kind of actually looks a little like an overbite, but his mouth and face kind of project over. This is my most favorite tool. It's a bone curette. This is a texture tool from Candy Leather. There's a little teeny space here, a little spot where I put the eye of the humpback whale. Now I've already pulled down a stringer of white, and I'm going to run this down the length of the body. And I'm kind of defining the parameters of the white area underneath the humpback whale. I'm starting it with 3 stripes of white. And then I'm going to fill in the spaces. Now I'm wiping the whole gather of white down the length. There's a little spot that I didn't cover up with the white, so I'm going to do that now. That's the whale with the white underneath. I'm going to condense, I'm going to flatten a little section of cobalt here. I'm going to come in with the white and put a gather of white over that. So the white is going to be on the underside of the whale, of the side fins. And the side fins on a humpback are actually fairly long. And on the top of the fins, there's little bumps, almost like barnacles. And there's also those same bumps that are around the head and the face. Now you want to taper these fins to the rear, keeping that whale in the backfire. Punty under the belly. Now I'm going to do the two tail fins, flat on this, welding this sideways, pull it directly to the side, and then a little bit to the rear. Flat, 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 flat. fire polish the little punty mark. And there's the whale. I'm going to be showing you how to do a seal with a little ball on his nose. This guy here pretty much. And it continues with the theme of a linear piece. Like most of the aquatic pieces are linear in line, and I condense a gather that will become the body of the piece, be it a dolphin, a whale, a seal, a walrus, a shark, a variety of animals, and they're all starting with a gather in the middle of a straight rod, pretty much looking like a snake that ate a pig is the easiest way to give an example of that. And I'm condensing a gather here, and the seal is going to be pulled down from the right side to the left, or from the left side to the right side. So right now I'm condensing. I'm going to bend this and let it droop pretty much the same way that I did when I showed how to make the dolphin. But right at the end, after it stiffens up a bit, I'm going to do a 180-degree recurve on it and curl the tail back under itself. I'm going to do that here just in a minute. So there's pretty much like when I do the dolphin, if that were to be the other way around. So now I'm going to carry this tail upward, then turn this upside down, taper the tail back down more, this is going to be how the seal will sit. You're going to want to take the forward fins, and they're going to go forward and outward. This piece will be freestanding, and these fins need to go outward and forward. Outward and forward. Touch the tail down, move this forward. So now you're kind of sitting on a tripod. So now I'm going to finish, and I'm going to put the back fins flat, 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 flat. Second stage red to second stage red. Flat, flat. Second stage red again to second stage red. Going to touch the two front fins. Going to move this a little bit forward. Touch the two front fins and then move it backward. A punty. Now this head will be pulled a little bit to the rear. And then up. Flatten that just a tad. Keep that in your backfire. tag on that little ball onto the nose of the seal and let it condense downward until it gets round, and then at the very end aim it upside down so that it will hang true. There's your little seal with a ball on its nose. Fire polish that little spot. And there's your seal with a ball on its nose. I'm going to be showing you how to make a walrus. And the walrus will start off the same way the dolphin and the whale and the seal started, with just a solid rod that's linear, and then make a gather in the middle of it, and then turn that into the walrus. This section of glass in my left hand will become his head and face. Now that little area on the left of the flame, from my perspective, will become the head and face of the walrus. Now I'm going to start condensing this down more to get the body. Now the body will have a lot of creases in it, like where fat skin is kind of folding over itself. So as I gather these individual bits of glass here, you can see that they're not smoothed in right here. I want to keep that, I mean, it doesn't have to be totally smooth before I bend it, because I'm going to be putting in a lot of extra lines in it. And again, I'm doing these small just so you can get an idea faster. I can get more pieces into the same time frame. Now I'm going to change the angle here. And now I'm going to add more glass condensing into the body towards its tail. I'm going to taper the tail off to the right. Just going to sit like this. And again, I'm going to use my most favorite tool, this bone curette. It has this curved blade on the face of it. And what I'm going to do, you'll notice that this is just a little line. It's just a little bit of motion for me to use this tool to curve it. You can't do the same thing with like a kitchen knife or a paring knife. To use a knife like this, it's actually against the line of action. You have to move your whole wrist. So now I'm going to do two fins that are on the front of the walrus. going to flatten this, squish, 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 squish. And I want the fins to be forward and outward. The two front flippers and the tail fins will all come together to be the tripod where this will sit while it's freestanding. So now I've got the two side fins where I want those. This tail is going to be a little bit like a double pull back onto itself right there. Double pull. You're going to want to heat up. Move this down. Now I put my two tail fins, the two front flippers, and now it sits flush. Puffy. Now his face is going to be on the top, and then his mouth is going to move forward. And you're also going to go and put in a little gather that will be his eye. Use this candy leather tool that has a little wooden dowel on it as a handle, and I use that little tool to punch in the eye. And then all I have left is the two tusks. I'm going to do this upside down. And I'm going to do the one furthest away from me first. So I polished a little punty mark. And here's the little walrus.